Being a dentist human is easy to want to cry on the inside each day. There's so many challenges that affect us in our dental offices, and Talking Nachos is designed to help you increase success, decrease stress, and reduce the number of times you feel like crying inside a day. To work on your dentisting course so you can survive and thrive and have more fun in your dental office. We have such an awesome show for you today. I'm ready for my first guest when my team is ready to bring him up to talk with us. So we have Dr. Jordan Frey. Dr. Jordan, you are a doctor, but you are not like us. You are not a dentist. Tell us, what do you do in your daily doctoring life?
That's true. I'm a plastic surgeon and I focus on reconstructive surgery. So I actually work a lot with dentists doing head and neck reconstructions after cancer and stuff like that. And I also do a lot of breast reconstruction.
Awesome work. I mean, I know you probably deal with so many transformative things. I get the sense people like seeing you more than they like seeing us. I'm not sure, right? They might seem to look forward to some of those enhancements. So, Dr. Jordan, you're an awesome key resource and sponsor of the group. Tell us what you've done to make lives better for dentists, for doctors, for people at any age or stage of their career, but especially early. Tell us about what you do.
Yeah, my goal and passion that I really found is helping anyone, doctors, dentists, any medical professionals, to improve their financial well-being. And this is something that's so, near and dear to me because I experienced this firsthand where I'm only about a year and a half into practice after, my residency was 7 years. And at the end, I was burned out, and I realized a huge part of it was because of my finances. And I was finally about to graduate, and like, whether you're going to be a dentist or, a doctor, you're finally going to be making some money and you're going to be a high income earner. And everyone was telling me it's going to be great, but I didn't feel like that because had huge amounts of debt. I had no savings, no investments. I didn't even know how to go about that stuff. And it just really stressed me out. And so,
to make us feel better as dentists, they don't talk much about money in medical school either. They don't really tell you.
No.
They should, but they don't take time to do that. So you've decided you want to make this better for your colleagues, make this better for you.
Exactly.
What inspired you to start your program?
Yeah, so I basically just lived it. I learned about this stuff. I came up with a financial plan before I even made another cent. Just having that financial plan where I knew I could get to financial freedom to practice on my own terms, it made me feel so much better. And so I did a lot of work learning to invest, learning how to develop these plans, learning different strategies that work for high income earners like ourselves. And it took me a while. It took me, over a year, but I managed to increase my net worth from negative 500,000 to about positive 500,000.
Awesome.
And so I just created this course to try and teach other people to do it. And, I'm very much still on this journey with everyone. I'm not like at the end of it shouting instructions from the finish line. I'm right there, living it with you.
Which I think is awesome. And tell us about this course. Dentists, this is right up our alley. We dentists, I'm a 44-year-old dentist. I went back to school in the olden days when the debt was a third as much, but they're coming out $600,000-$700,000 in debt. Debt is not just a financial challenge. It could be an emotional challenge. It could be, hey, I don't think it's even worth it to save for retirement. So what is your course going to teach them? I know people can text Prudent to 215-543-645 to learn 6454 to learn more, but what are they is this an online course, in person? Tell us how it works.
Yeah, so it's an 8-week online course, and it really goes from A to Z. So wherever you're at, even if you're totally clueless about finances like I was, this is going to walk you through the steps from just creating a healthy mindset around money to developing, the basic kind of financial foundation, to learning how to invest, to developing your debt payoff strategy. There's even a bonus module on real estate investing, which is something that I do. So it's really going to take you from A to Z. And by the end of it, you're going to have a plan that is going to get you to financial freedom.
And I know dentists and doctors, we can be tough customers in the most literal sense of the word, tough customers. Some people have taken the courses. What are some of the stories they've shared, or how has it impacted their life?
Yeah, it's really been great. And that's what's so fulfilling. There was one woman who just took it, and she had been going through a divorce. And so she had, was in the negative in net worth and really didn't know how to manage her finances or had never dealt with that. And took this and through it was able, she just finished the course recently, and her net worth is now up around $200,000, and she's on a trajectory to retire when she wants in 5 years, if she wants to,
That's great. the
Yeah.
things that impacted our lives, sometimes in our control, sometimes out of our control, affect everything. It affects how we feel about going to our offices every day, affects our energy and morale. And that's why I just think that what you're doing is so great, because just talking more about how money works inside of our lives, works inside of our practice, is really something that should be discussed at an early age. We could talk for the whole show about why this should really be something that's talked about in elementary school. But at the
Yeah.
very least, when you have dentists and doctors and vet students taking out all this debt for the schools to not have any information on how to manage it, it's just so irresponsible.
It totally is. And I think there's such a taboo in medicine, dentistry, all these fields about money because, we didn't get into it for money. We want to help people primarily. But a big part of our well-being, of our ability to be a good doctor, dentist, et cetera, is our financial well-being. And that's going through this process has really made me a better doctor because I'm able to focus more on patient care, which is, what I want to focus on.
Yeah.
So it's really important and can't be overlooked. So I try to dispel that taboo and talk about it.
Awesome. Well, I really am thrilled to have you as a key resource and sponsor. I know people can text Prudent to 215-543-6454. Our people, they love a deal. So I know you've included a special deal for the Nacho audience. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we have a special deal. So it's 25% off. It also includes in it a weekly live Q&A for the Nachos group.
Awesome.
And free one-on-one coaching, 1 hour session with myself. So a lot of great value in there.
Awesome, Dr. Jordan. And if people want to just reach out to you directly to ask some questions, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, the best way, you can go through my site, which is prudentplasticsurgeon.com, or you can email me at jordan@prudentplasticsurgeon.com, and we're really responsive.
Awesome. I see you active on the Facebook groups too, which is great. So enjoy the rest of your day there, helping transforming people's lives, both inside. What do you guys call it? You don't call it operatories, but I guess you do call it operatories where you work. But it looks like you're doing consults today. Or you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm seeing patients in the clinic and then OR tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, have a great rest of the day. Thanks for being part of what we do.
Thanks. You too.
So as you guys can see, such an important topic, talking about money inside and outside of our operatories, helping us feel better about our financial fitness. Really great topic there. I'm ready for my next guest when my team is ready. Awesome. So I have a fellow dentist now. We went from plastic surgeon to dentist, Dr. Brian Packard, who's an awesome guy, awesome key resource and sponsor with your virtual consult. Dr. Brian, you are coming to us from an authentic place. Looks like you got your loops around your neck. So got a patient coming soon. Class 2 on number 15 on someone who isn't open. No, sorry, just don't want to wish that on you. Tell us a little bit about what you've created to help dentists cry less on the inside or outside, feel better about what they do, connect with patients. I love what you do, but I want you to orient our audience to that.
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I loved connecting with you and your beautiful family earlier this year at Dental Success Summit.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian.
Really great. Really great. So I'm partners with your virtual consult, and basically what it does is it allows us as dentists and doctors to kind of break down the barriers on how patients can reach us and interact with us, hear our voice, see our faces before they even come in to our practice, which can be a scary thing sometimes. And so what I have found is when patients reach out to me and my team here through your virtual consult or YVC platform, before they come in, the comfort level is so much higher. And
pause for a second there, because I've made some videos from my own office that I like for your virtual consult. If you go to penningtondentalcenter.com, you'll see my face talking about us doing dental implants. What is the psychology, or just, you've been a dentist for a while. What do you think, it could be in the most fundamental way or big picture that helps these patients feel more comfortable from seeing your face first?
That's a great question. Really, I guess it's just from me having used it in my practice and seeing the difference between someone that comes to my practice through your virtual consult and someone that just comes in any other avenue. I feel like it's probably because they've seen and heard my voice a couple different times. They see my welcome video, like the widget on my website, and they see and hear a little welcome video to get a virtual consult. And then they see and hear my voice again when they click on which service they are interested in, whether it's veneers or implants or Invisalign. And then they get a personalized response from me that then they realize, oh gosh, they're actually responding to me personally. And when they come in, it's like we're already friends. They already know me. They
That's the part I think, which is cool. I mean, even from
Yeah.
the Facebook world and dentists interacting on it, you get to feel like you know people through their Facebook interactions, and no different here. So
Right.
tell me a little bit about this. I have one of my best friends, I mean, all the time, my phone. If
Yeah.
someone's watching saying, hey, I'd like to do this, but I don't have a fancy setup in my office, or I don't have special lighting, what are the types of videos? Can you make them from your phone? And how easy is it for them to get started?
Okay. So that's probably what's really great is it's really easy to get started. You do like a 12-minute demo with Tom or Joe on our team. It's a new software that you don't have to learn. It's like a 45-minute setup. You get onboarded, you make some onboarding videos. And I'd say the thing that during like COVID, I was able to respond specifically to everyone because I had time on my hands. And now we're the opposite. We've never been busier. And so now it gets a little bit difficult to respond to every individual. And so now the automated responses has really helped me and my and Dr. Nasser.
That sanity enhancer is so key. Because
Yeah.
we all know, no matter what you do with your job, and especially dance, you get asked the same questions over and over and over again.
Over and over.
So when you can make a video that people can watch at any time, we're saying, hey, a lot of people ask about, is snapping their teeth in and out really hard to do? That's a great question. You'll find that we can use different snap strengths, something I'm just thinking off the top of my head. So I love that. So it's part patient education, it's part marketing.
Yeah.
Is it something that, like, now just say if somebody's watching and they text in consult to 215-543-6454, they get onboarded with your team.
Yep.
How soon can they have this stuff on their website, or how soon can they have it on their social media accounts so that they can hit the ground running in January of 2022?
Oh, they could have it within days. The only holdup would be just the dentist, and we like to try our best to just make it convenient for them, to make it easily. Like you said, you can with your phone make these videos, and we can download them, and they come across really personable when you're able to just talk into the camera. We have actual scripts for you if you don't feel comfortable, just speaking into a camera. We can make it really simple and easy for you to just have it written out. You just respond with a normal voice like you would to any patient that's chairside with you. And what I found is that comfort level leads to increased case acceptance. I think the national average is something like 41%. Does that sound about right? I think that's
right, yeah.
what I've been told. Well, with the YVC platform, we found that YVC patients' case acceptance doubles. It's about 89%.
And that's so what we're doing, helping people chew and smile with confidence, staying in business for our practices, doing the type of care that we want to do, patient-centered production. It all comes together. Well, I'm so thrilled to have you guys as a sponsor and as a friend. I'm glad you invented this. We're enjoying using it. Just as a side topping or an additional topping, once you make these videos on your phone, you can also use them for your own team education, right? Where you can say to your team, hey, we have an assistant who doesn't know anything about dental implants. Here's my YVC videos. Make sure they watch them. So I just love that videos can be multi-purpose, used for so many different reasons. So if somebody's watching here, I know you guys have a great deal for our audience, but how could they reach out to you directly if they want to learn more?
Yeah, you can reach out to us just through your virtual consult. They even have like someone almost always ready to respond right there on our website, the yourvirtualconsult.com. And then you got we do have a great deal right now. It'd be 60% off of the setup and $100 off their first month. So it's your dentist people. We really like a good deal. We like a good deal, right? Absolutely. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I mean, I would say that what you're doing, get ahead of the curve, stay ahead of the curve, make your life easier. Just embrace the power of video. I've done that through both my dental office and Dental Nachos office. So really, thanks for sharing with me. What's your next procedure out there, Brian?
Looking at the schedule here, it looks like I got a couple of emergencies that are coming in. So a couple broken teeth. We'll see what those turn into.
It's the season for emergencies, the holiday season.
It is. I tell you.
I go, it was 2015, sir. You could visit us more than just the emergencies.
I know. Right? I hear you on that.
Let's get back to work. Thanks so much for being here.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Paul. Good to see you.
So as you guys can see, managing your finances, creating opportunities for patients to move forward with treatment. This is what Talking Nachos is about, to create a world where you work on your dentistry core, learn from our key resources and sponsors. I'm ready for our next guest when you guys are ready. Awesome. So I have clinic owner, the amazing Brad Ferris. I know you work with a lot of doctors, Brad, but what's your role in the dentistry world?
Yeah, so my role, I'm VP of marketing, kind of head coach for our practices. And my job is to convince dentists that, as evidence practiced as they are at the chair, that they also need to do that to their business.
Yeah. And you've shared so much great insight in our Facebook group. I think we have this common bond, to use a dental term, over helping associates realize how to survive, how to thrive, how to avoid problems. Tell us a little bit about that. Is that something that you're just personally passionate in? Is it related to your clinic grower? You have some great, you had one of our most popular posts where you asked if you wanted to make more as an associate, and everybody came for that. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, what I'm kind of finding is it's kind of like your moderators, right? They're coming to you asking for more nachos, and you're busy looking up recipes for spicy salsa and guacamole.
Yeah.
And just a lot of it comes back to just the fundamentals: interviewing associates, interviewing owners, finding out what the issues are. I mean, we do patient acquisition, marketing, websites. I mean, all of these issues are great to grow a practice, but if you're not growing, it means you're frustrated. And if you're frustrated, that's leaking into your patient care experience. So just meeting with associates, and they all the time are going to their owners and saying, I need more patients. And the owners are going, well, you need to be faster. It's not a productive conversation. And what we need to do instead is teach the associates to come to the owners and say, here's what I could have produced. Plant the seed in the owner's mind in terms of, I need to feed this engine, right? This engine is supposed to
everybody can lead with some FOMO, so the owners don't want to miss out on that. So just taking a step back, I like to, this is one of your first times on our show here. If somebody calls up your clinic grower, calls up you, what's the process of you guys working together? What toppings do you guys have inside of that plate? What can people do? We'd like to learn more about that.
Yeah, so usually it starts with something really simple. The number one question I ask them is, what's the number one problem keeping your practice from growing? It might be marketing. It could be reviews. It could be, I know right now it's personnel, it's hiring questions. It's making sure that you find the right staff, the right systems. I mean, ultimately, when we place new patients into a practice, we want that experience to be top notch. Most owners are really, really smart enough to know what's holding them back. And if we can address that simultaneously as bringing in new patients, fantastic. But bringing in new patients alone isn't just going to necessarily convert into more money in the practice. There's lots of other things. So I spend a truckload of time teaching on how to run huddles, how to do handoffs, especially between associates, new patients, and obviously they love their owners. But you can't be everywhere all the time. So you kind of need a team around you.
That's such a key point, because I think sometimes we overvalue the number of new patients. We don't even have oftentimes the capacity. So sometimes what dentists are asking for is not even what they want. I think that if you can break that down and see where, to use the cliche terms, the bottlenecks, the challenges are happening inside of the practice, you really let them live their best practice life. If someone was to text and grow to 215-543-6454, are they going to meet with you on someone on your team? Are they going to fill out a questionnaire? Our dentist people, they like details. So tell us about the details.
It's really simple. You go to clinicgrower.com/nachos. We've got basically every Nacho member is entitled to get a free month with us. So whether that's coaching, whether that's patient acquisition, whether it's any of the resources that we provide, my goal is to support the practices so that we learn as an agency, that I learn as a professional. And again, our goal is to keep our clients for 2, 3, 4 years, not just that initial 30 days.
And I think that's an awesome JFO. I call it Just Find Out. I mean, you're sitting here, I'm a practice owner. I work with my brother. There's so many different challenges, but sometimes you just have to take a pause and say, hey, what is something I can add to my plate in 2022 to make us all more successful, help more patients? So take advantage of that incredibly generous offer that Brad and his team are offering us for a free month there to test them out. And I just want to say, I really appreciate all the value you add in the Facebook group. What was some of that? I mean, I don't want to reveal all of your secrets, but the one post you made where everyone was saying, I want the $100,000, how to make extra. Can you give us one secret from inside of the thing they're going to get there?
Yeah. So what that kind of came from was most associates want to make at least $3,000 a day, because their percentages are kind of close to that in terms of around $1,000 a day. And the goal there was, what's holding an associate back from generating an extra, $1,000 a day? Like what could they do to go in there and get a high value case, help with the treatment acceptance. I know I got some flack. Some people thought that my question recently was not very good about what metrics would be. But again, if we're not able to evaluate each other, if you're not able to evaluate your associates as an owner, then how are they going to get better? So making sure that we're mentoring, making sure that we're, like you said, give them your best assistant, give them the resources to be successful. That's kind of like, that's what I love is, seeing everyone else be successful. I can't be in every practice. I wish I could. But what I can do is I can share resources to just help people get
One
that.
thing I want to bring to light before we jump off is that we had an awesome new associate that we just hired through my own Dentist Job Connect thing. She's great, but I have to remember, even though I do this all the time, that she does not have the same relationships with patients that I do. So when I walk in and say, open up, Millie, we'll get you to your senior lunch, let's go. She has to walk in and create a relationship, and people are on guard. And we just need to just be aware and empathetic to that, because when you're a new dentist in a practice, you don't have to even be a new dentist on earth, but just a new dentist in a practice. Oftentimes the exhausted practice owners like me and my brother, we know all the patients. And I just think that's something we all need to talk about more as an industry. It's not that they're slow. It's not that they don't know what they're doing. It's just they literally are seeing a whole column of new patients each day to them. And that's a tough day.
Yeah, and if I could throw that in, I mean, that handoff starts with the reminder call, the front desk experience when they see your hygienist or assistant, and then when they ultimately end up either seeing anyone else in the practice. It's an all hands on deck effort.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I'm so glad to have you as part of the Nachoverse. Great sponsor. Thanks so much, Brad, for hanging out with us, and we'll talk to you soon. Awesome, guys. So then you now see marketing bringing in the patients that you want to bring in, getting your team set together like that. Nacho, I have my playbill here that I went and saw, like Nacho Hamilton in your office. So I'm ready for our next guest when my team is ready. So we have an enthusiastic and probably exhausted practice owner just like me, Dr. Spencer Grossman, who's part of our Dentist Job Connect platform, who made an awesome video. So you did a great job in doing that, Spencer. You are here to share, and you're just like Brian. You're in your authentic. That looks like the practice owner office. You got some Post-its and some things around. But you're looking for an associate in your practice. Let's start with this. Where is your practice where you're looking for an associate?
So we're located in Souderton, Pennsylvania. It's about, without traffic, maybe 45 minutes north of Nacho headquarters.
Okay, cool. So you can come in for Alves. I'm going there tonight. That's actually not a live through. So tell us the why, right? When we hired our associate through Dentist Job Connect back in July, one of our associates moved across the country to follow his awesome wife into her medical residency, and we needed another associate. That was our why at the time. Tell us your why. Why do you need an associate?
So my why is my once boss, then partner, then associate, and my mentor. He officially retired 2 months ago.
Wow.
So I've got a practice that's supported, 1.5, 1 3/4 dentists for the last, 13 years. And as he's retired, I need help taking care of the patients.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one of us at times. And, I don't think the outside world realizes this. Maybe Dr. Jordan, the plastic surgeon who does this, handcraft plastic surgery, but you can only do so much with your own 2 hands. There's limitation. Yes. There's only so many people you can see. So you have a real need for people to see patients in your office. What are the things your associate would do on a day-to-day basis most of the time working with you?
The associate would do just, general dentistry, whatever they're into.
Gotcha.
I'm not looking to find someone to pass off, the MOs on number 2 alone. I want someone to come in. I want them to make their own treatment plans. I want them to establish relationships with the patients. I want them to do procedures they're comfortable with. But I also want to be able to provide mentorship. The doc that I assumed the practice from, he was a real mentor to me. He was a teacher at Penn for many years. I come from a history of teaching. I was a TA in college.
Cool.
I taught at my residency for a little bit when I still lived around there. So I want to pass some knowledge on, and I'm looking for someone. My fantasy is somebody comes in a couple days a week. The practice continues to grow. They're here more, we ride off into the sunset together.
That's awesome. And I like it. Now tell us about the amount of days that would be ideal. Are you looking for someone part-time, full-time?
We're looking for someone to start part-time.
Okay, gotcha. So it's 2 days a week, a reasonable amount?
Yeah, a day and a half to 2 days a week.
And so this reminds me, I mean, one of the things that my friends did out of school, I did a multi-year GPR, but the ones who did the one-year GPR, they found a lot of value in working in two different types of practices just to see what was out there. So it sounds like someone could work with you 2 days a week, then work somewhere else 3 days a week, and get differing experiences.
Yeah, and that's what I did for many years. Once I found this associate position, I saw, to me, the value in this practice. Nice small town, good patients. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk on Dental Nachos about PPOs. I mean, a small percentage of what we do is PPO. It just, for me, I worked here Tuesdays and another day, and I said I worked my entire schedule around being here because I saw the future.
And you want to find it. And that's just that you're just sharing such great value in that. No one tells us. You can see what this theme is here. We don't learn enough in dental school about really how to survive and thrive, right? Dr. Jordan, the plastic surgeon, tells us they don't learn about money in medical school. Dr. Brian's telling us, patient communication, we don't learn about that either. Brad's showing us how there could be challenges. You're telling us that you got multiple different jobs, but this is the one that you wound up sticking with your career, and you'd like to do the same one for someone else. So I think that's an awesome story, Spencer. We're striving our best to get the word out there. People can text job to 215-543-6454 to learn about this position. But how could someone reach out to you directly if they just said, "Hey, I want to email Dr. Grossman and ask him about what days can you work? What's the compensation?" How can they reach out?
They can shoot me an email. My email is Dr. Grossman, DrGrossman at IndianValleyDental.com.
Awesome. And when's your next patient? Do you have no patient at 2, or when's your?
I have a patient at 2, and it's actually my 6-year-old son for sealants.
Oh, see, okay. Well, if you stay for one more minute, I'm going to bring Brad back up for a second. So I do a lot of different things in my nacho world, but creating Dentist Job Connect, I actually started doing this 15 years ago, well before Dental Nachos, where I would go on Dental Towns, totally true story. I was just texting with my residents. I would go on Dental Town and say, "My name's Dr. Paul Goodman. I am attending at a residency program. There's 8 good residents that need jobs. If you need a good associate, contact me," right? This was back in the olden days of 2005. Because there's never really been a good way to get people to connected for jobs. Why do you think, Spencer, we have such an convoluted, not effective way? How did you find your first job out of dental school?
Well, my first job, fortunately, was at the practice that I grew up going to.
Okay.
So that worked out. That worked out very well. But when that ended, it was difficult. I had a year where I had a really, really bad associate position. And fortunately, I ended up finding other ones. This one, that the practice I ended up buying, my buddy from dental school was the endodontist that came in and treated patients here. That was the connection. Otherwise, it was Craigslist, Dental Town, the dental schools. And I think it's probably because dentists don't know how to do these things. And we live sort of like on an island, and we're not used to doing these kind of things. And
it's like the Oregon Trail from that video game we played back in the day. But what's crazy to me is dental schools have an opportunity to create systems for people to connect for jobs, like law schools in the business world. And for some reason, we're just falling there. And Brad, you deal with a lot of associates. Just really just curious, why do you think dentistry is so behind the game in just connecting for jobs?
Well, hopefully because you're just taking care of all of the patients that you got every day. But I think it comes down to, the reason why I love the scorecard that we give out for free in Nachos is it has a job description right there. It has the opportunity for you to really, again, it's marketing. You're trying to convince someone to come to your practice. You're trying to convince an owner to hire you. It's really a treatment acceptance process where you're trying to basically say, like, hey, give me this opportunity.
And I also think one thing I'll add with the dental student Hunger Games is you become very comfortable talking to your classmates. They're your friends, the misery love company, you have shared experiences. I think, unfortunately, they don't make dentists confident in talking to each other at different ages and stages, where I think that's literally a challenge. I mean, I'll be authentic about Dentist Job Connect. Sometimes someone goes, "I need a job," and we connect them with someone like Spencer. We go, "How'd it go?" They go, "I never emailed him. I didn't feel like I wanted to," right? And to me, it's poignant because they need a job, but we're lacking this. Have you seen some of that too, Spencer, in your travels through the dental world?
Yeah, and I think a big challenge is that people looking for positions and people advertising positions, like, you don't know what a good position is by reading it. like for example, my location, nobody knows this town. It's not Rittenhouse Square. It's not, the main line, but it's hard to convey that I think this is a great opportunity for for any dentist, but for someone looking for their associate position. But it's hard to show that, or to point that out, or to highlight that, which is why something like this is a good idea. Although maybe people see this and they go, I'm not getting near that guy.
No. This is part of it. Just like Brian's your virtual consult with bring, you get to see people's face. But that's why when I spoke at the DEO, I said all practice owners should just create a practice observation day and just say, hey, come hang out with me for the day. When maybe don't even want a job in this area, just come see what dentistry's like, because then they go back to their world and they tell their friend, hey, that place Saturday's good, but we just need more of this. I think one of the things I'll add is I worked as a resident in a hospital. It sounds like you did too, Spencer. Hospitals are this giant building with lots of doctors in it, right? So they're sharing their experiences and they're working in the same building. We are just dotted out into these sort of, like you had said, islands, right, Spencer, Brian? So I just need to make this better, and I appreciate you guys being part of doing that.
Yeah, I will say, I did. I've been on the Job Connect for a while, and I did make connections with a few different docs. And my advice to them was, hey, it's very hard to find someone whose days work out exactly what you need. But I've established relationships with them, and the offer is always come on out, check out the place, and you never, you say JBN, you never know who's looking at what time, or who needs help, or that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. That's Brad. If you were advising an associate, you said, what would you tell them in this matchmaking world they should be doing? They're at a job they didn't like, they got it randomly, they're not so sure they want to stay there. What would you tell them to go out and do to get a better one?
Be assertive. Tell them exactly what you want. Tell them exactly what you want to produce. Let the owner figure out how they're going to help feed that beast.
And I think also one of the things I think we have a problem with, and probably Brad's background makes it easier, but ours is we only want to do something, Spencer, if we think it's going to work out well, which is great for a filling, but it's not so good for relationships. So I one time gave advice for people to literally go home during their Christmas break, buy 10 boxes of cookies, get one sheet about them, and just walk up to front desk and dental offices and said, hey, I'm Dr. Paul Goodman. I'd love to learn about dentistry in this area. Could I take your practice owner to lunch, or just talk to them on the phone? And yes, some people are going to not have time for you, but one girl did it and she got a job offer on the spot from somebody. And I just think you got to do more of that. Be assertive, go out there, always connect with people. So thanks so much, guys, for being part of what we do here. I really appreciate your time. I'll let you guys get on with your afternoon, but thanks so much.
Happy holidays. Thanks.
Happy holidays, guys. So as you guys can see, Talking Nachos is a show that's supposed to be fun, informative, allow you guys to learn about the toppings of dentistry that are going to help you survive, help you thrive, help you be more successful, and reduce crying on the inside. If you'd like to be a guest on Talking Nachos, just reach out to us by emailing salsa@dentalnachos.com. Thanks, guys.